Hello, this is the Radio Geek. I'm here again with another one of my radios I've had for a little while here. Thought I'd do a little quick demo of some of its features. It's the Sangean PR-D4W. That just rolls off your tongue, doesn't it? It's an AM/FM weather receiver radio. In the front here you have your speaker. You have a display here which has your clock and your frequency readout. There's a band select button, some alarm setting buttons here. The display button, if you push that, it'll turn the backlight on. Weather alert button, and it has some presets down here. It actually has 10 for AM and 10 for FM. It's kind of like a car radio. It's got a AM 1 and 2, and each of those have 5, and then it has an FM 1 and 2, and each of those have 5 presets that you can store. And then you have your tuning up and down button here, a scan button here. That's also used to set the clock. Power button here, and the volume control is over here on the side. And that's the only thing on that side. And on this side you have the headphone jack, auxiliary in, and an optional DC adapter, AC to DC adapter would go here, and it's 6 volts with a positive center tip. And in the back you just have the battery door access, and it takes 4 D-cell batteries. It has your standard FM range from 87.5 to 108 megahertz. AM is 522 to 1710 kilohertz, and and that's if it's the 9 kilohertz band selection spacing. If it's the North American 10 kilohertz, it's 520 to 1710. And then you have the weather bands. There's 7 weather frequencies here in North America, and they range in frequency from 162.4 to 162.55 megahertz. Turn this back around. It does have weather alert that you can set. However, it does not have the same function, SAME. It doesn't have that, and that's basically, if it did have that function that a lot of weather radios do, you can set it for just a specific county if there's an alert, or a type of warning, like you only want to hear tornado warnings and you don't want to hear thunderstorm warnings or something like that. This does not have that. It basically, anytime the National Weather Service puts out an alert, if you have it set, this will go off. It's got different modes. It's got one mode where basically this display light will just come on, and then it has another mode where an alert will sound. It'll be like an alarm tone sound out of the speaker. And then the third one is there's this little red light here that'll flash, and it will actually turn on the weather radio and play the broadcast of whatever the alert is. So let's just turn it on here and give you a little demo of it. It's a pretty nice radio. It's kind of got a black glossy finish, and I guess the only downside to that is it kind of does leave smudge or fingerprints, but it's a very heavy radio for its size. It's got the 4 Ds in there. I don't know what the weight is with the batteries, but I would say it's probably close to a couple of pounds with batteries in it, so it's quite hefty. It's definitely not gonna fall over very easily anyway. So I've got the telescopic antenna extended. I thought we'd turn it on here and see what we can pick up here. Just kind of give you a demo of it. It's got a really nice display on it. You can push and hold the tuning button here, and it'll scan until it finds the next strong station. Or if you push the scan button here, it'll just scan and it'll stay on the channel for a few seconds, and then it'll continue on to the next frequency that it finds. Up here in the top you can see your signal strength indicator here, how many bars it has, kind of like a cell phone. And over here it's got the strength of your battery. And if it's picking it up well enough, it'll have a little stereo headphone symbol here, meaning that it's picking up and decoding stereo, which is only available with the headphone jack, of course, because we only have one speaker on the radio. It does have some unique features on the other bands here. We'll stop this for a minute. Let's see, we'll change the band here. You push the band, there we got FM2, and it'll be on AM1, AM2, and auxiliary. It's got an auxiliary input. If you wanted to input a MP3 player or something and play it on the speaker, you could do that as well. We'll go to AM here. Now, one of the things that it's really an exceptional AM DXing radio. It does very well with AM stations, and that's one of the reasons, or a main reason, that I got this one, is because of how well it does perform on the AM band. It really does do a good job on that. And one of the neat features that it does have is that you can change the bandwidth on AM and FM too, but we're primarily talking about AM on this one. So anyway, if you just push and hold it here, and then there's your bandwidth selection, and then you can use the up and down here to change your bandwidth. Obviously, you're getting the widest bandwidth of 6 kilohertz, and it goes all the way down to 1. Now the advantage of that is if you have a station that's near what you're trying to listen to that's causing interference, or just got interference of some kind, you can lower that bandwidth. You lower the bandwidth, and then what it does is it doesn't sound as good, but it does eliminate some of that noise. So let's see if we get another station here. Okay, so let's go back to that. There, now let's see what it sounds like here. And I'll increase that.
There is a element to that I wonder how much it might carry over. There's
I think the default is 2.5.
Perhaps, maybe.
But it does work rather well if you reduce that, if you're getting some kind of interference from something, whether it be electrical noise or another station interfering with it as well. So that's a really handy feature to have. Like I say, it's a very good AM DXing radio. It really does a very good job of pulling in the signals. It doesn't have, the bandwidth isn't as fine as some other radios that might be out there that are kind of built for DX, like maybe the Crane CC radio. I think it's got a finer tune than that, but this does have that feature, which makes a big difference when you're listening to AM and tuning in some distant stations. This radio is made by Sangean, which makes the Crane CC radio. So same company, but Sangean does make really good, solid radios, good performing radios, and this one is no exception. This one really does sound good and really pulls in
how I might have voted
the stations here.
But I am from Berkeley, California, so put that in the mix, okay? But
see what we can hear. It's the middle of the day here, so not sure we're going to be picking up a whole lot here, but And it does sound very good on FM. It does do a good job with FM as well. We'll change the FM band here.
11:30. Credit offer valid.
Let's let it scan and play for just a few seconds, and then it'll scan for another station. There's the stereo indicator there.
Enables bill pay and submits policy updates and claim reports directly from a user's cell phone. Learn more.
Move tickets are on sale now at the Fernando Arena box office and Ticketmaster. More info at My Magic.
Grand Rapids Public School System was the first tool for my children.
Creating holiday.
Stop on by and see us. Of course, get yourself a
Well,
selfie
must be
with me
commercial
while
time.
you're here.
Shot clock, that's the best they're going to get at that point.
Oh, yeah? Andrew Bird will be opening up for the Lumineers when they play at Van Andel Arena.
It's got a pretty nice sound for just being one speaker. Anyway, I'll turn it off for right now. Also, if you want to change the tuning steps on it, the radio has to be off to do that. And if you just, this says tuning step here, but you have to hold it in for a couple of seconds. And then it beeps, and then it tells you what the FM one is, and you can change that either 50 kilohertz or 100. The default is 100. There's AM, there's 10 kilohertz, and go either 9 or 10. So North America is 10 kilohertz spacing. So that's that. And like I say, really good AM reception, especially at night. It really pulls in the station, and with the bandwidth adjustment, it really can eliminate a lot of noise that you might receive. And it's coming up to be winter time, which is a very good time, a good season of the year here in North America to pick up AM stations, particularly if you're DXing for some AM stations. So I highly recommend the Sangean PR-D4W AM/FM weather radio. So I just thought I'd give you guys a little quick tour and show you this radio. Until next time, this is the Radio Geek.